Hello and welcome back to Greenwood Adventures, and today I'm going to do my BCU to arena walk via canal, and obviously today I'm going to be alone, which is not a big problem. We have quite a bit of a new potential loot incoming up today because I have scouted this area and all the loot tends to respawn. It seems way too often, so I'm going to quickly prep myself. And thankfully today Mother Nature has given us a very beautiful day, surprisingly, after all that raining and whatnot. So today we're gonna start this journey from this usual spot of ours, and I'm going to be using the Easy Pick litter picker because I just wanted to destroy it completely, since it doesn't really show much of a good good results overall. So we're gonna start with here. We got already a bunch of cans or whatnot hidden in the bushes over here. There we go. So yeah, currently it is 4 p.m. but by the time we're gonna reach the not the mailbox but the arena, it's gonna obviously get dark, and it seems like this spot is just unable to stay clean, mainly because students and whatnot come here to eat and drink and hang about and just leave a bunch of litter all over the place, just like this can over here. Really annoying, but what can you do? So we're gonna hop over today, since I really want to check out what my friend Matthew from last time actually saw in this zone by the stairs. So we're just gonna quickly check it out and see if there's anything fun in there. It looks like this spot over here has a lot of amount of litter, some foam bits and pieces over here. Just gonna fish it out, and looks like new stuff has been revealed in this filter, so we're just gonna grab what we can. So yeah, not good indeed. Very littered, which is very pathetic of the people. Lots of litter, lots of coffee mugs tossed in the bushes over here, and let's check what's going on right in this spot over here, since I haven't really explored this part so far. So yeah, lots of takeaways and whatnot. So it seems like my friend was really spot on, and we got some alcohol bottles over here, some cans tossed in the bushes, and then let's see what else can we find here by the stairs. Lots of crushed cans over here. Yeah, lots of bits of food, it seems like, especially the takeaway stuff. Oh yeah, he was right. This spot is indeed infected, proper infected, but hopefully now at least it will remain a little bit clean for some time. Well, yeah, oh yeah, this spot is very littered. We're already fishing out a bunch of cans from the bushes. Lots of alcohol bottles deep inside. So yeah, that's a whole vodka bottle. Too bad it's empty, so it's gray tier loot. This spot is on a heavier side of litter, so we're gonna do that for today. In this spot, since my main interests are the main canal, these spots can be very easily cleaned, obviously, but unfortunately it seems that this place is understaffed to the point when there's for no one to take care of this spot completely, which is not the best thing. We're gonna grab a bunch of bits, whatnot. So we're not gonna waste too much time in here, because as I said, I have a different interesting spot to show you today. Also at the same time, just check if anything is in this spot right over here. Yeah, just a can of beer. So it seems like My greatest ops have been passing through this spot quite often, and my ops being the opponents, for those who don't know, and ops are enemies, and enemies are the homeless people of this holy quest, because they have given up on life, so they've given up on ethics, given up on rules, and causes us more damage than we need. So that's the situation with these ops. And this spot over here seems to be fairly clean, except for some cigarette butts here and there. But today we're gonna move slightly quicker because I have a bad feeling about today for some reason. A very odd feeling. Not sure what it is yet, but maybe we'll discover it today further on, or maybe not. Let's hope not. And I'm going to check this spot right over here where there's lots of homeless people poop, because I did see a lot of trash tossed into deeper part of these bushes, unfortunately. So we're gonna collect a bunch of bottles from here, it seems, and I'm going to finally toggle on my flashlight. Yep, there we go. Lots of bags of alcohol bottles. So you see, it's no point of giving the money to the homeless, because they're gonna end up buying alcohol, and this alcohol will end up being littered somewhere where we don't want. And this bush seems to be very much decorated with a bunch of litter over here, so good thing we found it. And yeah, today will be quite warm, so the more I'm gonna pick up litter, the more I'm gonna warm up. Okay, found some plastic cups and other things, and a bottle tossed right into a bush. Okay, let's just not step into any of the stuff over here, and we found ourselves a bag over here that is very hard to fish out because of those thorn bushes. So surprisingly today no one left us any cardboards in here, so that's an advancement, I would say. Hopefully the homeless person who comes here finally learned the lesson that he can't leave anything in here, because all of it will just simply disappear. The place is finally becoming ever more so clean, except for some bits of plastic tossed in here. So I'm just going to angle my camera. So yeah, some bits here and there buried under the leaves, and there's a plastic bag in the middle of the canal that some bird is checking out. If only that bird could push this bag to our side, that would be amazing. So we're gonna quickly check through this garden spot over here. We're gonna dispose of our bag because it's already full. Yep, it seems like we have some bottles right under the bush. There we go, fished it out into a bin. Thank you.
I saw some people on YouTube doing it. I felt like doing it.
Yeah. Check more stuff over here. So this park, little green area or little garden, has managed to stay somewhat clean, so that's good, except for some schnauzer tissues that people just love to leave it here. Okay, our bags have disappeared from this spot, so that's amazing. We're making progress keeping this place clean. This spot actually is fairly clean, but we're gonna check this little grass area. Yeah, it seems like it managed to stay fairly clean. So what we're gonna do is grab a little, that's a rock. Oh, we don't need rocks. So we're gonna drop down, secure this bag. There we go, and let's just move on. We're gonna use up most of our bags eventually, and I still have 2 full green rolls of these bags remaining. But yeah, we're using them very, very quickly. And each roll is about 20 bags, so I already burned through 2 white rolls, which is 20 bags I believe, and then we burned through almost 4 green bags, which are 20 rolls, 20 units. So we can safely assume now at this point that I have collected over 100 bags worth of litter just in 3 weeks or something like that. Okay, so these wooden things are very annoying. I'm gonna use the manual method, and some bottles tossed into a bush because why not? And something right over here as well. Chips crisp bag. Pathetic. Students students here seem to be very pathetic. More of these wooden sticks, a lot of them actually over here. Small tissue in the top of the bush. Now the spot is clean. Let's move on. So today is a very calm day, barely any wind, and of course it seems like homeless ops came here to leave some content for us. So I'm just going to carefully analyze the ground before stepping deeper. And then, yeah, it seems like this spot still contains some hidden treasures in the bushes that unfortunately I won't be able to fish out of this litter picker. And yeah, this spot really smells like human fertilizer, which is rather not good, I would say. And my flashlight always goes out in this spot specifically for some reason. Oh, it's very strange. Very strange indeed. Some cans from here. Bottles tossed in by the fence because the kids seem to be very pathetic in here. Very uncultured, civic sense lacking. But so far the water doesn't have anything in it. Let's check what's going on in here. A buried can. Yes, yes, of course. Of course we have a bunch of cans in here. We're gonna check the other side first today. Because of the lack of wind, all the litter has spread all across the canal. So the litter, we're probably gonna find it on both sides by the mini park zone. So we're gonna check this area first. Do we have anything in this corner over here? Only a bottle, twisted a bottle, so it's probably a fresh loot. Not good. Okay, so we're finding some more cardboard deeper, and yet the smell here is not pleasant. And I just clocked something really interesting, it seems. Let me just gather stuff from here first. Some foam bits, my most hated kind of loot after cardboard. Cardboard is number one most despised findings. And it seems like we found ourselves a can tossed right into the grass. Like, why? Just why? What are you gonna achieve by doing that? And we found ourselves a football over here, out of all things, and it looks like it's been, so this is probably the battle scarred ball. So nevertheless, that's an amazing find, but it's gonna take up half of my bag now because I don't have a knife on me, so I could burst it open and flatten it and save a lot of space. Okay, now we're gonna check this mini park, which to my opinion is quite a beautiful spot. If you wanna come with your date over here, just propose or whatnot, get that first kiss moment, I guess, if that's your kind of a thing. For me, that's not ever gonna happen, unfortunately, because I'm doing something that many people find very not attractive, which is going through hell so you people could see the heaven. Sometimes people just have to sacrifice themselves in order for the greater good. So we found some plastic bits and paper. Oh yeah, looks like this spot in particular now has restocked itself with the loot. We're gonna check this in particular spot. Looks like we have ourselves a can. Monster energy drink is very common, unfortunately. So, and wow, look at that, our very first needle of the day. How's that for you, huh? A very first needle. That's crazy. I did not expect to find a needle in here, to be fair, but it seems like we were granted something greater in this spot. So we're gonna pick up a bunch of these aluminum or candy wraps, I guess. It's really pathetic of the people, honestly, that they just come here, trash up this such a very nice looking spot. Like, it's very selfish, I would say. That selfishness is a sin. So there you go, people, you're committing acts of sin if you come here and litter. I mean, laziness is also a major sin. So dispose of this needle nice and easily into the bottle. There we go. And it's not gonna pierce anybody. Okay, I can't reuse the water physics to bring the bag closer to me, unfortunately. But what I can do is actually use this branch over here and get it closer to me. If I just hook it up nicely. There we go. Crisp packet, fished it out. Nice and easy. Now we're gonna go along this grassy area and check if there's anything else in this spot, because obviously this entire bridge zone is covered, and it's not very pleasant sight, really. The more we're gonna fish out, the better. Fishing is my fishing levels are maxed out at this point. It's just because just how much there is of loot in this spot. But too bad is the litter picker is not the greatest for this situation. Easy pick litter pickers are very good for ground, but they're very horrible for water. But we're gonna try to work with it as much as we can. It seems like most of this stuff here is from the deposit zone area that probably swam up all over here. Oh yeah, and this bush seems to be very littered in this spot. Probably didn't see anything because I wasn't paying attention to the camera, unfortunately. Okay, but our bag is already getting full, which is not good, because that means that this spot is extremely littered, of course. Okay, so we found ourselves a lot of stuff in here, especially since I haven't checked last time over here. Apple cider, that's disgusting. So we have a lot of things here stuck on the bushes, and we're gonna fish out as much stuff as possible. Seems like, yeah, this spot has been properly neglected by the folk over here. Not good indeed. Not good indeed. So we're gonna do what we do best and fish most of the stuff out. Seems like there's always gonna be some kind of a loot that we can discover in here. I'm going to reposition my bag. Let's try to hook something more. Yeah, lots of bottles and cups in this spot and cans. Okay, let's continue through the bushes. But here I need to be very careful because I can't see the ledge of the canal. It's very hard to approach this spot because of these bushes. They're hiding a lot of things. Lots of bugs in this spot, so some probably gonna fly right into my nose. So if you're gonna hear me sniffing about, just know that some bugs have flown into my nose. Difficult spot to work with. Alright. Oh my goodness, I just leaned down and it seems like this spot is extremely littered in here. Lots of bottles. It's not a very beautiful sight, honestly. Judging by the state of this bottle, the litter has been for ages, and yeah, that's all I can really grab from here. And then we can simply move on. Skip this part of the stairs. So full bag from this spot, not too bad, not too bad. And we already have pretty much secured 2 spots. So I'm just going to go back to the car park bin. We're gonna dispose of our bag. So yeah, as you can see, there's still a lot of litter that can be discovered here and there. But yeah, I really like the aesthetic of this spot. If people just came here to sweep up the leaves, this place would become 11 out of 10. And that's the beauty with this litter pickering, is that when you start doing this, you start exploring a lot more places. Now I'm just going to annoy the people who take care of the bags. If you don't want to see me put all these bags, just simply don't litter. And I read some comments of yours about the council bin bags. I've seen those bags, and all I can tell you is that they don't look comfortable. I prefer to have a little smaller bags, which is like 30 liters, and with these strips that you can tie up properly things. And the thing is, most of you assume that this activity is quite illegal. Well, first things first, if the council really cares, they will find me and arrest me or not, but they won't, because if there are cameras in this spot, then they can see that I do carry a litter picker here and leave these kind of bags, so they can instantly probably assume that at least these bags are not disposed by some random schmuck. And I wouldn't call this volunteering. It's more just a hobby and more of a religious act, as a mother natureism, not some virtue nonsense. I'm not into that, so don't be assuming weird things about me. Of course, I do appreciate that you people try to look out for me and stuff like that. Obviously, I do appreciate the feedback, and at the same time, I really want people to recognize that these bags are mine and not some council's bags, because it basically sends out a wrong message. That's why I prefer to have my own bags, because it completely sends a different message. So I hope you do understand that. Let me do my job the way I want it, and you should worry about what I'm doing and not how I'm doing it. And no way, we found ourselves a second crack needle of the day. Damn, we're pulling out a lot of needles, and my record is 16, which is absolutely crazy. And there's a condom right in the middle of the canal, which I won't be able to reach. Disgusting, really. It's really disgusting. People just come here to do their zesty things and drop their condoms into the canal water. It's really, really, really pathetic. I should probably pull out myself a flashlight. The flashlight does provide the better light. So there's also a bag of nuts. Alright, really difficult to see with this weak flashlight. If you have any recommendations for like the head flashlight that is very strong and can be recharged, drop any suggestions in the comments down below and I will check it out. And yeah, this place is littered with a bunch of weed bags. And how do I know that they're weed bags? Because weed is very, very common in this country. Like if you walk through this spot at this time right now, which is like 4 p.m, you will be smelling a lot of weed in this spot. Not the best litter picker. What can you do? So we're just gonna break it up, obviously, eventually. Let's check the corners over here. Seems like this spot managed to stay clean this time, except for one bottle over here. Yeah, I'm just going to pull out my flashlight because it will increase my visibility drastically. We're going back to the flashlight era, and of course I will keep the headlight on just for the volumetric light. Let's check what's going on with this spot over here. Okay. Birds are birding about. The pincher is unfortunately very poorly designed. And I left the review on the Easy Pick, very bad review, and they offered me a refund, but I'm not going to ask for the refund, mainly because after all, it is a good thing that they're trying to design these litter pickers, but what I want them to do is improve them. Don't sell the same thing anymore, just improve them. And looks like this spot has been littered with a bunch of tampons. What's going on here? Why there's the tampons in here? Yeah, this spot is littered with tampons. What the hell is going on? Those insertable ones, not pads. Why are they here? I guess some woman came here to dispose of her expired tampons, perhaps? I have no idea. But we're gonna get them so they wouldn't end up in the canal, because most likely they will eventually once the wind will pick up. This big chunker seems to be stuck in the middle. If I had some kind of a rope and small stone, I would probably just toss it and drag it back over here, but unfortunately I am not that extremely prepared for these kind of situations. Right now I'm completely flashed up to the teeth. You know, when I mean light, I mean light. let there be divine light. So we reached our purple diamond zone. Nothing in the corners. At least the purple diamond zone seems to be the most clean now. Nothing hidden in the bushes. Oh, huge loot. A fake nail. Oh my goodness. That's a rare find. Oh damn, I just got so excited that I dropped my litter picker. Yeah, so this spot seems to be fairly clean, but now we approach the area where there are leaves, and it seems like there's a lot of litter on the other side of the canal that is inaccessible, unfortunately. And we found a bottle over here, so yeah, it seems like most of the stuff accumulated in the middle of the canal itself. The usual tier items. I'm pretty sure just having one boat and casting some nets would catch all of that junk in one go, but people are just unable to come up with such designs because everyone just lacks intelligence in this city, unfortunately. Unfortunately, in this spot I can only catch the bottle cap, a green bottle cap, and some yogurt packets over here. So it's sadly food does end up in here, and we fished out our first lighter of the day. That's amazing. Okay, this crack spot managed to stay clean now. Hopefully it will stay like this forever. Yeah, looks like this spot is fairly empty today, or at least most of the stuff has swum to the other side and I can't reach it. I'm going to check this spot right now. Seems like this spot across is actually not fenced. So what we're gonna do is go on the other side and pick up a bunch of stuff from there. So we're gonna quickly zoom for this bridge, turn off the flashlights to not flash the drivers, and we're gonna quickly hop over here. Oh, look at that, a bottle. Another bottle over here, very pathetic. Yep, okay. Across the bridge, go right under the big sign. It looks like this spot has a lot of construction site litter and whatnot, plastics and whatnot, which I assume that the drivers drop every time they pass by. And yeah, ooh, yeah, this spot is very rich with litter in here. Good find. I did not expect to find anything in here, because I did see only like a construction wraps or whatnot, but it seems like this spot is properly littered, unfortunately. So we're gonna go and grab biggest stuff first, like this sheet right over here. Oh, it's, yeah, thanks for help, Mr. Thorn Bush. Ah, damn. Thanks for help indeed. At least it kind of held in place, this thing, but now it's getting it out is going to be absolute impossibility. Alright, we got most of it. Still some bits left here and there. Let's just not risk it too much. There we go. Now at least we got rid of it. This spot is overgrown with invasive plants. This is what happens when, you know, you don't take care of this place. But now we're gonna select quite a proper amount of loot from this spot, and judging by this bottle, how bare it is, people really don't care about this place. So that's not good at all. So yeah, as you can see, this spot is very littered. So that's really pathetic of the people. Seems like we still manage to discover some hidden gems. Oh yeah, look at this. This is like a plaster bags. So construction site, my ass. Because I did work in some construction sites quite a few years ago, and for this behavior we would be beheaded. But seems now like today things are a lot more pathetic indeed. But I guess that's what you can expect from the kind of people that we have today in this country. Everyone is just giving up on everything, which is not good at all. Okay, these thorn bushes are absolute nightmare indeed to work with, but we will try to get as much things as possible. And this place started to smell weird. Not sure why. Plastic ropes are very annoying. They never listen. Every time you insert in the bag, they pop out. Whoa. Okay, let's see what else we have in here. A bunch of medication bottles, food packets. Okay, we're gonna declare this bag complete. We're gonna have a lot of loot in this spot over here, so that's very not cool. Okay, so the smell came from the bag, so I picked out something very disgusting smelling, and I believe this is my last bag of the roll. So we officially actually now managed to complete 100 bags worth of loot gathering, and yeah, achievement unlocked. Seems like a great achievement unlocked. And I'm going to actually put this flashlight into my pocket, and we're gonna fish out most of the stuff from here. This litter picker is very bad when it comes to these tissues stuck on the thorn bushes. Okay, bunch of bottles, lots of plastic. Not sure where it's like. How do people just manage to overlook these kind of spots? Like, it's very obvious, very disgusting indeed. And yeah, I'm unable to fish out anything because this litter picker just loses grip instantly as soon as I try to pull something out. We have lots of battery time. Yeah, okay, I'm getting quite annoyed with this litter picker, to be fair. Alright. Okay, lots of plastic bits, lots of wrappers. There we go. The less we see, the better. The more we're gonna get rid of, the better. Less for thee, pleasure for me. And it's really funny to see how people walk past now and see me and they just look so weirded out. That just shows to me that this place is truly neglected, and the civic sense here is dead. And it would be nice to have some kind of a gloves to actually rip these bushes out, because they are really annoying here. Even though I'd much rather not to hurt any of the nature's creations, but sometimes you gotta scrap everything in order to do everything good again. And yeah, lots of construction site remains in here. It seems like ended up in here. Yeah, lots of construction site equipment. I mean, it's obviously expected from construction sites to get some droppings from here and there, but it would be nice if they actually bothered to care. Oh yeah, this one has been for ages here. Alright, we're gonna pull out this plastic bag from here, and then more stuff from underneath the bush. Lots of bottles, unfortunately, in here. Yeah, this stuff most likely end up here because of the canal workers, not the canal workers, but the construction site workers. I assume that the construction site should have a lot of bins in there, so like, why not they just dispose all that stuff there instead of here? So Matthew, if you're watching this, you see what kind of stuff we missed out? It's crazy. It's crazy indeed. Okay, now I want to rip my clothes with these thorn bushes. So I'm just going to pick out something that is very easy to pick out, because my forearm is going numb just from amount of like the pressing at this point. Just yeah, it's just a lot of stuff in here, and I'm right underneath the big sign over here. And typical case of beer bottles in the bags. And looks like we have ourselves a second bag filled up, and there's still a lot more stuff in here. Okay, we're gonna declare this bag complete. Now I'm going to pull out my another new roll. Alright, let's just pull out some bag rolls. prepare myself one, and we're gonna continue. So yeah, we're almost done. Obviously there's still some smaller bits left here, but at least we're gonna get most of the stuff out. And we found ourselves an open can of red kidney beans in water. That's huge. We found ourselves a food can unopened. That's extremely crazy loot. Okay, we're gonna get a bunch of bottles. I'm gonna get at least most of it out. I'm gonna open this up. More bottles. Oh, bike beef? What's going on over here? No, never mind, he just paused to wait for someone, I believe. Yep, most likely. Most likely indeed. Never mind. It's very... They're using very questionable method of driving the same bike together. Okay, seems like we found ourselves a very littered spot over here. Even though this entire place is littered, the undersign, the mighty light provider, is littered. How can a light provider be littered like that? As many foreigners like to say in this country, no good. Okay, we have ourselves foam. That's annoying. And bunch of plastic bits. And lots of plastic right under this bush itself. So next time maybe when unnecessary noise pollution. So what I try to say is basically I'm going to fish out as much stuff as possible from here, and next time I'm gonna come back here with my green litter picker, and I'm going to fish out this stuff properly, because it seems like some things here are really stuck and quite difficult to pull them out from the bushes, because obviously this litter picker has horrible grip. Very horrible grip. Let's see, so still paper bits here and there. You see, this thing is just proper stuck because of these branches and thorn bushes over here. Some stuff in the bush right over here. There we go. Yeah, and impossible to pull it out honestly because of this litter picker. So I'm gonna get what I can from here, even though we fished out quite a good amount, but it's really sad that I have to leave some of them junk over here because of the litter picker. We'll see. So I'm just going to fill up this bag quickly from here. Those damn thorn bushes. I'm gonna rip my gloves probably as well. But yeah, this spot is super littered, and just from this spot alone I managed to gather 3 bags of junk. And yeah, I'm just going to declare this bag complete as well. So 3 bags just alone from this spot. We're gonna move out. We don't have a bin over here unfortunately, so we're gonna have to move along the canal. Alright, it's got a difficult spot, but we'll work with it. So now from this point onwards, things are gonna be a little bit more difficult. I will have to drop these bags every time if I want to pick up something else, and obviously I will. Every time things become a little bit harder when you're not now with someone. That's just the story of my life. So yeah, teamwork is important. Just gotta find the right people to do the teamwork. You can't do it with just anyone. Seems like someone left a bag. My shoes, my both shoes untied themselves. How is that possible? It looks like someone left a very massive pile of junk on the bench over here. Ah, damn. It's probably the thorn bushes untied my shoes. There we go. Now I'm gonna check out this bush right over here. The water seems to be fairly clean, but except this spot right over here. Like, just look how pathetic people can be Inconsiderate losers. Just leaving a bunch of stuff over here. Bring a bag with yourself, and once you finish all that food, just put everything in a bag, and when you find the nearest bin, dispose of it. Like, how hard can it be? Or is it now this effect of that they know that someone like me comes here and cleans things up, and now they think like, oh, okay, I can litter finally, provide content for this man, feel like a king. Thing is, I'll be here for 1 year, and I'm going to definitely disappear from this spot. And once that will happen, I expect a huge ripple effect. This zone is gonna become extremely littered again, and no one else will gonna clean up anymore. My disappearance now holds a massive consequence, which is quite funny, because technically I have become the balance between litter and nature, between beauty and disgust. And yeah, my disappearance will cause a massive amount of damage in this spot over time, that is, obviously, because no one else will do it. I doubt it. Mannerisms are dying, ethics are gone, civic senses are down the drain as well, and what's there's left then? That's just my observation. You can get mad all you want, but madness ain't gonna change anything. The only thing that will gonna make change is taking action. So get rid of this little plant thing now, because it always stands out in the dark like some kind of a tossed massive litter. I have no idea if there's gonna be any decent litter in here except some cans tossed in the bushes itself. There we go. There's more cans over in here as usual. Just some plastic bits that we will fish out, and a bunch of cans again in the bushes. Yeah, looks like these bushes are being disrespected by a lot of alcoholics in here. There we go. Fished out a can. And now we're gonna fish out a bunch of stuff like tiny alcohol bottles. Okay, no spitter on the roof. I was really shocked last time when I was litter picking here, and some guy just really shot a massive schnauzer projectile into the water. I would have pushed him into the same water as well if I had an ability, but you know how these kind of things go. Can't treat criminals like criminals anymore, unfortunately. We're living in a really strange times. Actually, I dropped this bag over here. Seems like the deposit zone is never able to stay clean, and looks like a rat made inside into the bag, dug their way inside. So that's not good, because now the bags are fairly ripped. Alright, this bag is quite heavy because of that root thing that I put it in. So lots of hard plastic bits in here. Feels like milk carton remains. Plastic bag over here. Good. The more we're gonna get rid of, the better. There's still some stuff in the very middle of the canal, unfortunately, but we can't reach that today. And there's a condom. Of course, you gotta have condoms in here. More plastic bits here and there. Okay, so we got ourselves this corner as usual, littered by some pigs. You gotta love them. Not. Yep, as I said again, this spot is just unable to stay clean. Unable. And there's rats in here, as you can see. You can see right over there. Hello, little buddies. Oh yeah, they just ran into each other. But yeah, there's the rats in the bushes. So these two things are the reason why my bags are ripped. And this spot is littered to the teeth. So let's go check where are these rats positioned themselves. Where did they come from? They surely must have a burrow somewhere over here. So we're gonna quickly collect a bunch of bits from here. And let's go deeper into the bushes. I'm gonna approach this place very slowly. Where did they go? Where did they go? Could be under the leaves, but I don't see any burrows in here, except this strange roll over here. But it's not here. Where are they? Strange. I have no idea where they're gone. They went in the corner over here and they just disappeared. Really interesting. Really interesting indeed. But yeah, this spot seems to have a lot of loot in here. So now at least we kind of cleaned it up. But I will be expecting more stuff next week. Okay. Okay, the rats are chirping. Let me just... Where are these little critters? Of course they can probably climb the bushes upstairs. So yeah, but they're most likely are somewhere on the fence right over there in these bushes. So yeah, that's probably where they are hiding. And we found ourselves a first shoe of the day. Shoes are extremely common in this place. In the rarity. I might make them common soon. But yeah, we got ourselves Nikes. No idea, don't care. Yeah, we're just gonna store it into the bag over here. To these provided bags. There we go. Shoe secured, so I wouldn't have to carry that thing all the way. Because from this point on, things gonna get a little bit more difficult. Oh shit. Looks like this spot has some leaves, but not much litter. This bench spot, as usual, of course, is littered. Once they finish up with their stuff, they toss everything just behind in the bushes, out of sight, out of mind. I really would love to just toss them into a canal at this point, just to maybe wake them up, you know, give them that good old cold shower. And yeah, so we're approaching the alcoholic spot. Okay, I believe I spotted something in here. Oh yeah, I did. Oh yeah, the typical case of cans tossed into the bushes. And we found ourselves a little spot with litter. There we go. Some plastic cups and some plastic wrappers. Vape products, probably. Vape package. Of course they leave food in here, why not?
Yeah, God bless you, mate.
Thank you, thank you. Floater in the canal. There we go. And lots of condoms in this spot, as usual. Quite disgusting, really. Quite disgusting indeed. Lots of human fertilizers in the corner. Yeah, lots of condoms in the spot, so you can already tell that my theories are most likely are true. And this spot really does smell bad. Really pathetic that we have these kind of people. If I was in power, I would jail them for solid 10 years, no questions asked. We are approaching the train bridge, where there's a lot of crackheads camping on the other side of the canal. Lots of cans, lots of things in this spot. So yeah, my theory is right that it's just It's just the homeless that are dealing the most damage to the canals. They are the source of the needles, unfortunately, because instead of choosing to fix their lives, they chose to, well, destroy themselves eventually. And looks like we found ourselves a beer can that is not open. Wow, someone probably experienced a devastating loss. Today not too extreme of a day, seems to be not as eventful as it was previous time, but nevertheless it seems like the litter is still quite an endless amount. And of course we took care of a couple of the hidden spots, so hopefully now they're gonna remain clean at least for one day. Okay, we have a bicycle ahead, so we're just gonna carefully maneuver. There we go. Seems like stuff is falling out of my bag, just sticks and whatnot. Nothing here, fantastic. Hidden toys over here, disgusting tissues. Nettle seems to be very famous in these spots over here, because there's a lot of them growing over here. We approached this homeless camp, and I will definitely going to climb over this spot right over here, because it seems like some of the cans from the homeless camp have end up in here, and it's not cans, it's just paint spray bottles. So yeah, see, this is what happens when you let them set up camps. They produce a lot of litter and they don't care about nothing. Yeah, this litter picker is horrendous. Horrendous indeed. Okay. There we go. At least now this junk won't gonna be floating in here anymore for one day. This side as well has a plastic bit over here. Yeah. You can climb back over again. There we go. One Molotov would solve the problem. I'm just kidding. Where am I? We managed to do quite a lot of stuff in this run. 4 bags a day is pretty decent, and I did more than 4 bags today. And looks like my friend from the last time did not pick this tissue over here. Alright, and I'm going to check out the fountains over here. Light bulb territoria. Hopefully now it should be clean. But yeah, it seems like this little fountain place has been littered. A unopened cola can. Huge loot. Someone's tampon, that's disgusting. Someone's vape. As usual, vapes end up in everywhere. What else do we have? Lots of candy wraps, plastic bits here and there. These spots can be so beautiful if only people took care of them. But nope, that's not gonna happen. The bag is refusing to listen, and I'm going to check if we have anything in here. There's basically another mini fountains, and it does have some stuff. Lots of cigarettes inside the water. There we go. That's the final piece, and we can move on. Let there be a light. Yep, there we go. Cans, whatnot, drop on the path. As usual, Monster Energy, as expected. A bunch of schnauzer tissues in the water, and of course crisp bags, because people don't give a crapperoni in this pepperoni city, honestly. What's going on in here? Oh, we have a whole paper bag. bags, small bits of plastic here and there. I'm gonna fish out every single piece. Alright, soda cans, so most likely dropped by some uneducated teenagers. Okay, we have some treasures on the other side and some cans over here. So it seems like good old song. And this one looks like this bridge looks very sketchy over here. Bottle filled with a bunch of receipts. Very interesting indeed. Anything in here? Small bits of plastic. Whoa, there we go. Some candy wraps. And we can climb back over. Ah, good thing I came here. So looks like we discovered ourselves a can. Lots of cans today. Not very spicy content today. Very minimalistic. Thankfully we haven't found any dead animals so far. I would say is a good thing, because dead animals are like probably the worst thing to find morally. But at least, you know, that is my mission, just to go through hell so you could see the heaven. I got some chewing gum. Empty bottle discarded instead of disposed properly. And some junk in the corners as usual. Coffee mugs, and we have ourselves a human turd in this corner over here, and lots of more coffee mugs. Alright, so I'm not gonna go across the bridge today, because honestly today I feel quite exhausted. I don't know, it's for some reason demoralized. The bushes so far seems to be clean in this spot, except for a bag disposed randomly. No idea, but we got it. There's something else over here. How curious. Nothing in here. Very good. Seems like I managed to pick up myself a very crappy head torch for myself. So very interesting indeed. And I found myself a scaffold clamps. No, actually disposed in the bag. Oh yeah, that gave instant weight. No way. We found ourselves a whole ass bin in here. That's crazy. I believe someone just probably tossed it from the balcony over here. Yeah, that's crazy. Alright, we're gonna carry this one then, I guess. Big bin, huge W. Not sure why it's here, but yeah, we'll get rid of it. Strange indeed. Okay, well thankfully we have a bin literally right over here. We're gonna dispose bin into a bin. We're gonna make bin squared. That's crazy. There you go. Bin squared. A whole bin. That's a divine finding, I guess. People just provide the bins itself. So we found ourselves a coffee, and it feels like it's full, so we're gonna dispose of it, and I'm going to dispose of my bag as well. And we're pretty much finished with today's video anyways, because we reached our destination. I'm gonna say my farewells right now, so hell, phone calls. Sometimes I wish I never had the goddamn thing. So today's video is complete, as I said before, so leave a like if you enjoyed this kind of video, drop something nice in the comments, and give a subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future. I'll see you in the next video. Seems like we have ourselves a bonus clip over here. Someone just decided to dump their entire wardrobe over here. Oh man, even though I'm very exhausted. Try to collect all of this. Not sure why this is the case. Why you come dump all the stuff here? Why can't you just bag it and leave it somewhere by the bin? These Northbrook Street people, they are very curious creatures, honestly. Yeah, today I'm quite drained. No idea why, to be honest. Maybe because I woke up early today, so I haven't got myself a good amount of sleep. But you know the saying, sometimes you have to go through hell in order to achieve the heaven. Just came here and dumped the entire inventory in here. Yeah, it's a bunch of female clothing. Well, based on these clothings, it could be like Indian or it's one of those Eastern people. Hopefully now this spot will remain clean, and this bag is proper heavy. Let's see if we can lift. No, we can't. Not good. And lift it by the clothing and carry all these bags upstairs. Okay, this bag is ripping apart. So let's see if we can just carry like this then. Like a newborn child. I hate that everything is wet. Okay. This should hopefully keep the clothes in place. Disposed into the bin. This should keep the thing in place. Northbrook Street has a very horrible reputation, it seems, over here. People are disgusting, and hopefully next videos are going to be a lot more exciting. See ya!